It can be quite a commitment to become a chartered accountant. You first need to pass your exams to qualify, and that's quite different to any other career path that you might choose. And that can be quite a lengthy process. You're looking at between 2 to 5 years on average. I qualified as a chartered accountant with one of the big 4 accounting firms. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 things that I wish I'd known before I became an accountant. So the first point I've written down is that the accountancy exams are incredibly hard, but it is possible to pass them at the first attempt. The people that pass the accountancy exams at the first attempt are those that make the right sacrifices, and so they're spending a lot of time preparing for the exams, doing past papers, understanding the mark schemes, and making sure that they are in the best possible position to pass the exam. You need to do a lot of practice on a consistent basis, and it's not just about working hard. You need to make sure that you're employing the right tactics as well. Tactics such as managing your time during exams, for example. And so it's a combination of working hard but working intelligently as well. Another challenge in the process is that you need to be able to recover after failing practice exams, because naturally it'll dent your confidence. But I think most of the individuals that I studied with, or I did my accountancy qualification and training with, did fail their practice exams, but those are just learning experiences, and you need to be able to understand where you made your mistakes and be able to correct them quickly so that you can then do well in the actual exam, which is all that matters. Another aspect to doing well in the accountancy exams was studying in a group, and so when I did my exams, I was working in a group so that I could understand where people were making mistakes or where people were understanding concepts quickly, and trying to take pieces from other individuals and incorporate them into my own learning. If you're doing the accountancy exams as part of the Big 4 graduate scheme, there's a lot of pressure on you to make sure that you're passing the exams first time, because there's a risk that if you fail your exams, there's a chance that you get removed from the graduate scheme. So that clearly adds a lot of stress and a lot of pressure on you, and so you need to overcome that challenge as well. So those were just some pieces of advice in relation to the accountancy exams. I've actually made another video covering that topic specifically, and I'll leave a link to that video after this video ends. So the second point I wanted to cover was that after you qualify as a chartered accountant, you'll get a pay bump, and a lot of recruiters will be chasing you, trying to get you to move to another job. So after you pass your accountancy exams, you've clearly proven your technical competency, but you've also indirectly proven that you can handle stress, you can manage your time, and you can deliver under pressure. In terms of compensation, naturally it'll vary according to which firm you work for, but you can expect your salary to almost double after you qualify. As I said, recruiters will want to become your best friends. As soon as you update your LinkedIn profile saying that you've qualified as a chartered accountant, you'll get plenty of messages on LinkedIn, and people will reach out to you via email to try and facilitate a move away from your current firm, because that's how recruiters naturally get compensated. So you'll get messages asking about what your plans are for the future, whether you're thinking about leaving your current role, etc. By the time you qualify, you might have had enough of working in practice, and so you might think about moving to industry, and certainly having that qualification will open doors for you, because for the good roles in industry, they require at least the CA qualification. Overall, I believe that there's always going to be demand for chartered accountants in the short and medium term, and accountancy remains one of the most secure jobs if that's a priority for you. I look at the chartered accountancy qualification as an insurance policy for your career. So no matter what happens at the firm that you're currently working for, if you're qualified as a CA, you can always get another role as a chartered accountant, a well-paying role in another firm. The third point I wanted to touch on is that the qualification sets a good foundation to have a successful career in finance. Naturally, as part of the CA qualification, you'll get good technical knowledge of accounting, but depending on the qualification that you do, you might also get knowledge about tax, government regulations, investment appraisals, etc. You might know this already, but a lot of the CFOs of large listed companies started off their careers as trainee accountants and are now qualified chartered accountants, playing these important roles at these large firms. And there are a lot of CEOs as well at listed companies and large private companies that have a chartered accountancy background. And the reason for this is finance plays such an important role in an organization, and having this foundation accounting knowledge really does help with the day-to-day management of a large company. I work on transactions in my day job, and I know how important and how valued a good financial manager is in a business. Point 4 I've noted down is that you need to be comfortable using numbers, but you don't need to be great with them. Clearly in accounting, there's no complicated calculus that you need to do, but you should be able to do simple arithmetic and simple algebra. And also when you first take up accountancy, You don't need to be good at this from the start. You can develop as you go along, and as you get more practice, naturally those abilities will improve. But you certainly need to have a base level of mathematical ability. If you're trying to be an accountant, instead of being outstanding at maths, you'd rather be outstanding at Excel, because it's such an important tool that's used in finance. And so you shouldn't be intimidated by using large data sets and using complicated formulas in Excel, because it's something that's definitely required on a day-to-day basis. The next point I wanted to raise is that accounting is less about being good with numbers, but more about understanding the processes and understanding what the numbers actually mean, so that you can use them to make decisions in the business. Like many people, I'd heard the cliche about accounting being boring, but once you start to understand what the numbers actually mean and how everything fits in together, you really start to appreciate why it's important and how critical it is for businesses to have good accountants in place so they can be successful in a sustainable manner. So those were the things that I wish I knew before I became an accountant. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. As I said before, if you want more advice on how you can pass your accountancy exams first time, click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.